Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV. Happy holidays to you. Got a few people out there on the chat nursing a hangover, I see. Hope everybody's had an absolute blast. And here we are then, round 2, the iRacing Grand Prix Series in the new McLaren MP430. I'm alongside Conrad Venter for today's broadcast. Conrad, Montreal, what a fabulous circuit. How many people used to hate this place in the old Williams FW31? It looks a lot more forgiving in this new McLaren. A lot of people taking a whole load more curve than they used to do.
Yeah, I haven't driven the car a lot, but from what I can gather, is generally you can take a bit more curve in this new McLaren, and definitely this is the kind of track where we can only benefit from such things.
We're just obviously going through qualifying at the moment, provisional qualifying just coming up on your screen at the moment. That's the top 10, so Riley Preston. Actually, Riley currently sitting on top of the world records if we just take a quick look of the track guide as well. So race times obviously for that one. Pretty cold temperature out there at the moment, mostly cloudy as well, so going to be a lot of grip out there. 20 degrees. I expect we'll see some really quick lap times, only 9 kilometers an hour win. But yeah, Riley with a 1:15.237 in a race earlier on this week with that current record. So looking good, sitting in provisional pole position. Got Patrick Holzman, obviously last week's winner, in second place at the moment, followed by Christian Tanahato, who I believe finished third that race. Yes, memory. I've destroyed too many brain cells over Christmas, so I can't remember.
I think we can be forgiven for not being on top of our game in terms of last week's result. I mean, there's a lot of been eaten, a lot have been drunk in the last couple of days.
Thank you for everybody tuning in as well. Obviously, Twitch alive and well this week as well. So thank you everybody for that. Hope you guys all having a lot of fun as well. Thanks for tuning in, and of course everybody that's following us on YouTube as well. Alright, how long have we got left of qualifying? It's not going to be too long at all, just a minute left. People still trying to finish up their few laps. We've got 3 people out there at the moment, Patrick being one of those, to see if he can improve at all on his current second place. What does he need to find?
Oh, it's only about a little bit than a 10th and a half behind. Just trying to see if I can get his sector times up.
See that everybody's liveries are starting to take shape as well. Obviously we know that the Thrustmaster Mivano X Team didn't have theirs sorted last week, but yeah, it looks very nice as well.
I have to say, I've been very impressed about how quickly some of the teams have knocked out these paint jobs for the cars, and how good they look on the McLaren as well. McLaren themselves might learn a thing or two.
Yeah. Right, that looks like qualifying is done and dusted. Conrad, would you be so kind just to take us through the grid order while they form up?
Yeah, well, pole position is Riley Preston with a 1:13.806, and then in second place we have Patrick Holzman. Third place is Christian Tanahato. Fourth place is Michael Denkel. Fifth place is Jan Switzer. Timu. Oh, I'm gonna butcher this name again. Valkyriavi in sixth place. Matt Farrow in seventh, and then we've got Massi Milano Firica in eighth place. Ninth place is Sanitari Kalinuki. In 10th place we've got Sebastian Dinkel, and then Jerome Haag in 11th place, Joni Takkanen in 12th, Joel Guez in 13th, Yunus Nikaranen in 14th, Bart de Laat in 15th, Patrick Bolgan in 16th, Ian Ford in 17th, Matthew Daniels in 18th, Frederick Rasmussen in 19th, Mika Hoppinen in 20th, and without setting a time, Juha Norlampi in 21st place.
Yeah, obviously easy not to set a time. Just worth pointing out, obviously, that the drivers are now able to use DRS in qualifying as well. That was in one of the recent updates. So, but still only the 2 laps. So if you mess the first one up, you need to abort it really quickly and not get the not set the time. Here we go, though. We're underway here at Montreal. It looks like a good start from everybody. No one really getting any major wheel spin moments. Christian having a little bit of company there. He's had to run out wide, but Riley takes the lead into turn 1 with Patrick in 2nd place, and it looks like Michael Dinkel in his he hasn't got his team livery on, which caught me out a little bit there. But he's up into 3rd place with Christian in 4th, and then Jan in 5th place.
Yeah, it's been a very
Joel spun.
restrained start.
Sorry, Conrad. Didn't mean to interrupt you there, but yeah, Joel spun, and he's got Bart Delat just behind him as well. So I don't know if they had a little incident off camera.
Oh, apart from that, from those two, it's been. It looks like it's been a very restrained start from everybody. It's very respectable racing going on there. Everybody giving each other a lot of space. As they come down the back straight for the end of the first lap, and it's still Riley Preston up in 1st place.
Riley, a current pro driver as well, sitting well inside the top 25, so looking to get his World Championship license. Taking a little break off of the Williams FW31, as they're still using that in that series, to have a little bit of play, and I have to say he's looking very, very good. And yeah, he'll be delighted to be up ahead of Patrick, who is no slouch as well, an active and current World Championship driver himself too. And Michael Dinkel, of course, a pro driver as well, and so is Christian Tanahato as well. So 4 of four of the best out there right now. Looks like we've had another little spin a bit further back, all the way down in 18th place now. Ian Ford also had some sort of issues as well, because he's dropped way back. So yeah, drivers not having as much fun as Road America. It's definitely a lot easier to lose the car here, and we touched on that a little bit in the track guide we did as well, where you do have to be a little bit careful over the curbs, and also coming out of that hairpin, very, very tricky. And I think as the tyres wear out a little bit, we'll definitely see people get a little bit loose coming out of that hairpin.
Well, something that I've certainly noticed this season is what bigger effect tire pressures play in the opening laps of a race. And I've been racing the latest 79 a little bit, and if it's colder temperatures like we have here today, and your tire temperature is just a little bit too low, then the first lap or two is really, really slippery. You really struggle, and you really have to play it safe to keep the car on the track. So I wonder if a couple of spinners that we've had has just been struggling with the slippery conditions.
Yeah, the one thing with the track being cold, it should sort of help them a little bit with that. Obviously, they're still well and truly in the iRacing physics there. The colder the track, the more the grip at the moment. So I think see that helping a little bit. Just having a quick look back, and it looks like Jan has got himself up ahead of Christian. So Christian falling back at the moment, way down in well, I say way down in 5th place now, but dropped 2 places from his qualifying positions. Jan looking very confident, and you've got Matt Farrow as well. Matt, of course, was in the race last week as well, and looked very quick last week, and yeah, looking good again.
Just had Jan Schutte move up into 4th place, and in front of Christian Tanahato.
Bit of a battle going on.
You've got 4th, 5th and 6th really close together there.
Yeah, there's nothing really separating them. I was just having a little battle further back as well, 15th and 16th. That is between Mika and Matthew Daniels there as well. So they were separated by just 1/10 of a second going down the back straight, but got themselves sorted out through the final chicane, and yeah, they just continue their little battle, 0.3 of a second separating those. But yeah, you're right. It's all about 4th, 5th, and 6th at the moment. Although Patrick is starting to close in on Riley, just 0.2 of a second. Having a little look down into the hairpin. Nothing coming this time.
I'm just gonna have a look. How much of a effect has the DRS had on overtaking in these cars?
Yeah, I think at the minute it's just a little bit under where I would expect it to be. I really thought we would see a lot more, a lot more boost, but yeah, we're just not seeing that. So you do need to be quite close to get a move done, and you're certainly not going to get the move done completely by the time you reach the corner. You actually will have to outbrake a little bit. So I think it's more as it was designed to be, rather than how it is in the real world. So should make the racing exciting. So you can defend now as well. So yeah, perfect, I would say.
Yeah, of course this is a track where if I'm not mistaken, it's got 2 DRS sections, one down back straight towards the pits, and then one on the start-finish straight as well.
Yeah. So you obviously, if you get a move done, then you should be able to pull away, come through the chicane as well. So almost guarantees you holding on to the place. Patrick very, very close this time. This is where we'll see it in full effect. Riley goes to the inside to defend. They're going to be side by side. I say that straight through. There you go. How wrong am I? Oh, Patrick just disappears. He hasn't come back either. So all of a sudden,
it looks like his internet connection is having kittens. His connection quality is dropping. So I think, yeah, that was a bit of a fail with his internet connection.
He's back. He was gone for the best part of a quarter of a lap there as well. So wow, and he's gone again. That's Riley must be panicking a little bit now as well, because he's got no idea where he is. All he can do is just do his thing out there and hope that he doesn't hit Patrick, really.
Oh, we've just had Riley Preston coming out of the first chicane and run a bit wide, and he made contact with that wall as he came out of that chicane, and he's got some front wing damage.
I wonder if that's just a bit of like net code, because we used to see that on the old Williams as well, and I think probably quite safe and no real issues at all. So
yeah, as you were explaining that, the front wing repaired itself.
Yeah, there we go.
There's obviously a bit of net code.
Okay, so we're now following what was the 3rd, 4th and 5th battle. It's now 2nd, 3rd and 4th, and it looks like we've got Matt having a little look on Christian. Gets the move done into the final chicane. Christian, in fairness, give him a lot of room, but it's now coming under a little bit of pressure from Timu behind as well.
Yeah, you do lose a lot of time if you have to if you go too wide into that final chicane, and you have to give way. But it's nice to see the DRS having the desired effect, at least around this particular track.
Yeah, he was really close coming out of that hairpin that time, I think, Patrick, and that's really what let him get alongside and clear by the time they reached the braking zone. So just having a little look further down as well, Joni Takkanen and Jonas Nukarin there, just that's 9th and 10th place. Just really unusual to see Jonas way down there. So not quite got to grips with the new car maybe yet. I don't know, just or perhaps just not enough testing would be more the case.
Sorry, Alex, we have lost Patrick Holzman.
Yeah, he's gone. So yeah, Patrick out. He I think he's still leading the championship at the moment going into this race, so he's scored some good points this week already. Who's that in the background that looked like they were having a little look? Is it Matt again? Yeah, Matt having a little look on Jan now. So Matt definitely looks good, and this will now be for a podium position as well.
Yeah, Matt Farrow didn't look like he was entirely sure if his DRS was working or not. It was open and closed, and it opened and closed until he finally got it open on that run down to turn 1.
Very, very close. Might have a little look down into the second of the chicanes. Jan goes defensive, Matt has to go around the outside, they're going to be side by side in the braking. Jan gives him the room on the outside, but just can't quite get a move done around there, and it puts him under a little bit of pressure now from Christian, looking to perhaps capitalise on that, although didn't get a very good exit, so won't be looking inside the hairpin this time.
I'll see, this is where it's going to be at.
DRS train now, everybody just going to come down that back straight and activate it all at once. Just see them all pop it open. Poor Jan, he's the only one without it. Has a look, he's just too far back. I wonder if perhaps slight difference in downforce levels between the two cars. Jan looks very quick on his own, and Matt a bit slower. We did pick up on that on the track guide, that, you know, again we might see some drivers running medium and high downforce, and dare say there's a few drivers have even tried low downforce this week as well.
Yeah, he's certainly very quick down that straight, and as Matt Farrow didn't make much of an impression on the gap as they come through that second sector. It's as it was before. In fact, I think Jan managed to put a little bit of a gap in comparison to the last lap. I think we've had Matthew Daniels running into a bit of trouble. Just have a look.
Yeah, let's just see if we
he's
can
back
catch
in the
that.
pits.
I'll see if I can see what the issue was on replay. He was closing on the back of Mika, I think, at the time. No, he was just ahead of him, sorry. So let's have a look. So he comes out of turn 2. No issues there. We're going to go into the first of the chicanes, I think.
Yeah, he lost
big time.
The back end coming through that first chicane, and then Mika Hakkinen got a bit of the car in front of him as well. And who was that? Jerome Hawk. Did he hit the wall? No, he sneaked his way through there without picking up any damage.
Have a look back at the action as we come live, and it was Christian trying to put the move back on Matt Farrow, so Matt holding on. Both drivers with the DRS at the time. This mid-pack, actually, I'll say mid-pack, is from third down to... are we looking at about 8th place now, so Eunice really starting to all close in on itself, just you know, a second or just under a second separating all of those cars as well. So yeah, a lot can still change, and podium position still very much up for grabs. We're only at lap 10 of 47.
Yeah, of course we don't know how everybody is utilising the energy power that they've got available to them. So some might be using a little bit more than others. But I'm sure by the end of the race it'll all pan out, and we'll be all the wiser as to what's going on.
Yeah, and from my testing early on in the week as well, the guys can be a lot more aggressive with the energy this time, as Matt has a little look on Jan again, but nothing happening this time. But yeah, so I would, where last week I think a lot of people were probably fluttering around sort of 5 to 7, depending on where they were on the energy modes, and again it really depends whether they're running adaptive or fixed on the MG UK. But I think we'll definitely see people running sort of, you know, 4s, 3s maybe as well. So really using some of that energy, and have to be careful coming out of the slow speed sections, but can really go to town with it a lot this week.
It's really impressive how quickly some races have gotten up to speed with how you use the energy power, and what it all means in terms of driving the car through the race. There's a lot to take in, going from a car where we didn't have anything like that to what is possibly one of the most advanced racing cars in the world.
Yeah, you're right. I think a lot of people was all talking about, you know, we're the generation of people doing it right now is are the ones that, you know, are used to mashing away buttons on pads and things like that anyway. So it's no real challenge for them, is it? You know, it's just like once they get their buttons mapped and get used to it, they're fine just doing what they need to do. I think the biggest problem most people have had out there right now is actually getting the available buttons. So many different options and configurations. I mean, for myself, I'm running a a fanatic Formula Rim, and I swear I just do not have enough buttons now.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean with that. I think I said to you a little while ago that I think it might be time to invest in a button box.
I was having a look. There's some nice wheels making their way out there as well that include all of the F1 sort of LCD screen, and that shows all the ERS and everything. So yeah, that might be quite good. I must have missed something, Conrad, while I was chatting about my own wheel. Jan down into 8th place. Can I just zip that back and see if he made a little mistake or something there? Oh, it was coming out of where is that? That's sort of like the left-right section. He hit the wall as well, so he's going to have some damage. Major moment, and yeah, he finds himself all the way down in 9th place now, and I guess he's going to be going into the pits because must have some severe damage on that.
Oh, we just had Patrick Baldwin make up a place as well. He's just gone up into 6th place, going into turn 1. Oh, it's all kicking off now, isn't it?
The tyres are starting to wear, aren't they? And you know, drivers can make some mistakes pretty easily, and yeah, right now.
Yeah, we've got Jan's in the pits. I suspect he might be there for a little while. I mean, yeah, you're right. That sort of from 3rd place down to what is it? About 9th place, they've all closed up a little bit, and they're continuing to do so as well.
Yes, we're just looking on the back of Patrick now. He's got Picara behind him at the moment, and we just see the difference that the DRS can have. Actually, Picara not really catching up at all. It's almost like he didn't have it there. So it really does depend on you know, what downforce levels you've got here. So
we're seeing a lot of like smoke, puffs of smoke coming up from the cars going into turn 1. Some of the guys having problems getting on the brakes into the corner, and then I've seen a couple of guys having trouble getting on the gas coming out of the hairpin as well. Oh, big puff of smoke into the 2nd chicane. Who is that? Oh, that's Christian Tanatu. Oh, he just completely lost the back end under braking, spun it round, and lost 3 places. Well, at least he kept it out of the wall, so no damage done apart from the tyres. Is going to be feeling it.
yeah, down to 7th. Oh yeah, that's through the high speed section. So unusual to lose it there. Don't really know what happened there. He must be quite aggressive on his sort of front downforce level there. So through the high speed, we don't normally have to deal with. We don't really deal with that much high speed area. Look at that. He's drifting into the 2nd chicane there. After that, we're just watching it back on replay.
Yeah, he's cooked the tyres after that as well. Just coming out of the hairpin after that spin, he got on the gas and the back end got loose again. Oh, again going into the 2nd chicane. It just the car looks so on edge when he gets on the brakes going into that part of the track. And he's still losing time on the 2 guys in front of him.
Yeah, it's going to. One thing I noticed, it's going to take him probably about 2 or 3 laps to get the temperatures back under control, and it's the rears. You can see everywhere the rear is just stepping out at the moment, and you know, the more he tries to push it, the worse it's going to get.
While he's doing all of that, Joni Takkanen is gaining on him.
Yeah, Eunice and Joni, they've kept about 1 second between them for quite some time now. Haven't really made any headway. Who is making a little bit of headway is Michael Dinkle, to be honest. He's 2.2 seconds behind our race leader now, and he was about 3.5–4 seconds towards the start of this race. Last lap, actually, Riley was just a tiny little bit quicker with a 1:16.4 compared to a 1:16.3 that Michael's done. But he has been slowly working that gap down. And, you know, we might have a race on our hands right at the end of the here, because we don't expect either of the drivers to pit. Certainly, the quickest way, again, like Road America, is to stay out there. Tyres are last in, and pit lane is quite long here at Montreal, and we, of course, on iRacing we have a slightly different pit lane. The pit lane limiter section starts a little bit earlier than in the real F1 races, but of course the cones where we can release as well is a lot further back, so the time lost in the pit lane is quite a bit more. So I think had we had the F1 sort of speed limiter and placings there, we might have seen some pit stops this week, but yeah, as it is, I don't think we will. Let's hope for Watkins instead.
Yeah, it was something I think that us as viewers will be looking forward to when they introduce a second tyre compound, and we start seeing mandatory pit stops coming into play.
Still having a look at this battle between Patrick Baldwin and Massimiliano Ficarra. Still just 0.7 of a second. It doesn't look like Patrick's really been able to break away after he got ahead, and in return, of course, Ficarra can't really close up enough to make a move. I don't know if he's just sort of using DRS to keep in touch. As we said, there's two DRS zones in ideal placings, and let's just have a look. It's 0.7 of a second coming out of the 0.8 according to that. It actually looks like he's losing time. Is that because, yeah, Patrick has actually got DRS himself? Not sure if Ficarra is even using his DRS. I'm going to stay with him. He's in range. Yeah, the flap does go up. The white there, just very deceiving. Couldn't quite tell if it was working or not, but he is. And he does close in a little bit, but mainly I think there it was reduced because Patrick closing in on a Timu just ahead of him as well. So we're going to have another 3-car battle here starting to form up any time. That's 4th, 5th and 6th again.
Just lost another driver, Santeri Kalinuki is out of the race as well. He's disconnected, so with him we've got Matthew Daniels and Patrick Holzman out of the race. I have to say, I was kind of expecting, with the nature of the track and being a new car, a few more retirements to come into it. The guys have been doing a pretty good job overall so far today.
On board with Patrick. Yeah, I'm having a little bit of fun coming out of the hairpin there, but getting the power down relatively well. Following the DRS, just starts to close in a little bit going into the braking zone, but not much. And yeah, car's so much easier to drive through that final chicane than the old Williams FW31. Just clipping the curb there on the right, and car just takes it as Timu just has a little lock up going into turn 1. Going to help Patrick again, just edges a little bit closer, just half a second separating these two now.
I think Patrick's got a very quick car in a straight line. I was just watching them coming down that back straight towards the start finish, and with his DRS open, he was still had nearly 10 miles an hour on Ficarra behind him, who also had it. So I think at the moment they get out of that DRS range with Ficarra, they're going to drop him. They're going to be gone. So he's sort of hanging on by his coattails at the moment. Yep.
You have to think though, as soon as these two start to battle, he's going to be right with them as well. Oh, he was particularly late on the break in there and closed right up. Surely this time Patrick then.
No, he's managed to get a really good run coming out of that corner. He's side by side and he's through. That was easy.
Yeah,
that's what you can say about that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think if you can get close enough, if you can get 0.2 of a second behind then yeah, it's like candy from a baby. But from sort of half a second back, it's still quite difficult.
So obviously, if you manage to get that overtake on that last straight, then you get the benefit of the DRS and the start-finish straight as well. So it's like a bit of a double whammy.
Yeah, just what you want, isn't it? As you've just been overtaken, you want the chance to fight straight back, but it's like, nope.
No, you get punished, and then you get punished again. We're starting to see a couple of guys putting in green sectors at the moment. We had Mika Happinen, Jerome Haag and Bart de Laat in that last lap, putting in their fastest lap. So we're at that stage where the fuel is going to start dropping, and it's going to start affecting the lap times as well.
Talking of Jerome, he's closing in on the back of Mika, having a little look into the second chicane, gets the move done. Will Mika be able to fight back Jerome's exit compromise slightly there, but gonna have a look down and into the hairpin, thinks about it, but keeps yeah, doesn't take a little look, keeps tucked in. A little bit of wheel spin off. He might have it might be close enough, but have a look. He's 0.4 of a second back now, and this is what we were saying about. He's deployed the DRS, but yeah, just doesn't close in much there as well. Again, that could just be a complete difference in setup there and downforce trims, and not able to get a move done. You can see the DRS open now, getting a run, but gets him close going into turn one, but yeah, not enough to get alongside.
As like with most of the race, main battle on the track going on at the moment is for 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, and just a little bit further back we've still got Jerome Haag and Mika Happinen really close to each other, with Joel Guez not too far behind them as well.
Joel had some problems at the start as well, didn't he? He didn't get away cleanly. Obviously Bart de Laat had his issues too, so Bart closing in on Joel. Ian Ford, of course, also had that spin. On my screen, it looks like he's got some damage on his front wing there, so that's not going to help him at all. But that again just could be one of those horrible netcode issues. But yeah, Joel and Mika very, very close. Just 0.7 of a second closing in on well, obviously Jerome there as well, just trying to pull away if he can. Definitely the closest battle on the track at the moment. That said, just I need to quickly switch up because Ficarra, as we switch the camera to a massive plume of smoke, and that's because Matt Farrow has had some sort of mistake going into that left-right. Now, what was that? Let's jump that back on replay and we can catch that.
Yeah, we've got Patrick Baldwin has passed him, and Ficarra was right on his tail.
Dinkle's just disappeared off of my timing screen as well. Oh, just loses it going into the left-hander. Very easy to do that. Just yeah, just perhaps a little early on the downshift there, too low, and the rear end just stepped out on him. Saved the car for the most part. Tyres will be cooked, but yeah, he sort of maintained his position in front of Ficarra, and actually Ficarra took full advantage of that little accident to get past Timu there. So yeah, Timu down to 5th, Ficarra up to 4th, Farrow in 3rd, and Baldwin in 2nd, because yeah, Dinkle has just disappeared. Now, was that damage, or was that just another disconnect? Right, just having a little look at the replay now. We're on board.
Yeah, I think he's disappeared. His connection quality is dropping as well, so I think we'll see him disconnect from this session before not too long.
Yep, just going down the straight, absolutely fine, just disappeared. There's some gift-wrapped podiums for people today, rather yeah, rather aptly timed, I think. So Patrick will be enjoying that one.
Yeah, he's got a nice 14, nearly 15-second gap to 2nd place now, so he can sit back and afford to just take care of the car and look after battery power, tires, and sort of nurse it all the way to the end without taking any risks.
Yeah, a good little battle here actually now starting to form up. Eunice has got himself ahead of Yoni, and Sebastian Dunkel's just tucked up behind those as well. So that's 7th, 8th and 9th coming across the line. Eunice just puff of smoke going into turn 1. Little lock up there, and it actually runs him out wide, and Yoni's able to take advantage of that. He's got a great exit. He's going to... Oh, I thought for a minute he was going to get the move complete. It's Eunice had to go in very, very deep and has compromised his exit again on the outside, perhaps for Yoni. Eunice defends well there, just covers the line off. No way through, and yeah, they continue as they are, and Sebastian's not able to take any advantage of that either.
No, you could just see Tacken and Sky. He went to the outside to have a little look, but the moment he went offline, the back end of the car just sort of stepped out a little bit. It didn't seem like it was that planted. I think he might have just lifted there before he risked losing the back end and sticking it in the wall. Tackinen with the DRS, he's closing up, going into the final chicane just a little bit too far back to take advantage of that.
Seen some damage again on Yoni's front wing. Oh, this straight alongside, around the outside, yes. So there's no defending that either. If you're close enough, late on the brakes, got the car stopped for turn 2. That's the important part. That's where Eunice from wide, obviously a lap ago, and it opens the door up. But yeah, onto the power early and through. So yeah, nailed that chicane and come out right behind, and that damage that was on the wing has just just repaired itself. So it's one of those phantom damages that we often see around here.
Eunice is really struggling coming out of the corners. Every single time he comes out of one of those chicanes, the car's just wiggling a little bit. So I wonder if he just hasn't overcooked the tyres somewhere.
Yeah, I wondered if it was if it just looked slow, but like you say, it's the little wiggle, so it's not that he's used all of his ERS or anything like that. So he's got enough power available. Like you say, he just can't get the traction.
I say Sebastian Dunkel right behind him as well, so he might be able to have a look going into turn 1.
Sebastian pulling out of the slipstream there as well, so
another puff of smoke coming up from Nikarin's car as well.
Yeah, seems to be locking up quite easily. Need to jump forward just for a second because the car has closed into within 0.2 of a second of Matt Farrow ahead now, so those guys still going at it. Matt was of course pulling away from these guys much earlier in the race, but now the tyre wear is starting to really kick in. It's just not able to pull away anymore, and they're 4.8 seconds behind Patrick. So Patrick's flying out there right now, just 0.3 of a second slower than our leader.
A couple of laps ago, Ficarra was sitting down in I think it was 6th place, not really making an impression on anybody in front of him. And didn't I say once they get him out of the DRS and they're going to drop him? Oh, yeah. Look at him now. He's up in 4th place, making me look like a fool. I'm going to have to send him an apology PM afterwards.
Yeah, I definitely think he is running a higher downforce than everybody else, and that's obviously coming into advantage because his tyres perhaps, well, they're going to go off, but just not as much. The downforce level's just helping him out there. I mean, I might be completely wrong as well. I know there's not an awful lot of difference between the downforce levels in the new car, but yeah, it does look like he's struggling with straight line speed compared to some of the others. So got it cranked right up, I think. Eunice back ahead of Yoni. We missed that overtake, unfortunately. But yeah, Eunice back through, Dunkel close up behind as well. So these 3 cars, you can throw a sheet over them at the moment. Just 0.6 of a second separate all 3.
You can really see it in these cars when somebody makes a mistake going into one of the chicanes, when they run a little bit deep and they come out of the chicane, how much closer the car behind them is.
I've noticed that actually. It does seem like if you run a little bit wide, you seem to lose a whole load more time than you used to compared to the old car. It just seems like the downforce levels makes such a difference, because we're running obviously so much less downforce in the old FW31, where you can sort of get away with it a little bit, but this car really punishes you. Look at the difference in speed between Donko and Takinen, both in DRS zones, and it looks like Dunkel's got some speed in the car, so he might be able to get a move done, but always hurts him when the car ahead's got DRS open as well.
Yeah, I suppose when that's the case, there's no point in really pushing too hard and trying to force the issue. Just possibly sit there, take his time, have a little look and see what it looks like a couple of laps from the end. If nothing in front of him happens, that gives him that opportunity to overtake. So we're
going to
on
look
lap
at
28.
the Ficarra battle again. He gets close, but just can't seem to get anything done. Just sitting there patient. We won't say anything though, because like I say, we'll be wrong again. Just sitting there patiently waiting for the drivers just to make a little bit of a mistake, and that's really where he's capitalised all race long.
Commentator's curse. Riley Preston on that last lap has done his fastest lap of the race with a 1:15.774, and Patrick Baldwin has really picked up the pace over the last couple of laps. His previous lap was his quickest with a 1:16 flat, and his last lap was 1:16.1. So clearly, they are easily quicker than at least a second to 8/10ths quicker than anybody else in the track at the moment.
Right, as Riley comes round to start a lap, I'll do a lap on.
Spin out.
Oh, well, we won't. It looks like it might be Eunice. Yeah, it is Eunice indeed. Let's just take a little look back at that, and we'll jump back with Riley to do a lap on board with him in a moment. So, yeah, let's have a look. Eunice, so we just jump back 30 seconds. He started to build a little bit of a gap from Yoni here as well, so feeling a little bit less pressure. Perhaps just getting a bit overconfident, maybe, I don't know. Just turns into the chicane there, gets it all wrong. Perhaps taking a bit too much speed in there, and just loses the rear end of the car. Yeah, nicely recovered, I have to say. Doesn't lose too much time, 4 seconds from a spin. So, but yeah, he's got all that hard work to do again.
Yeah, I'll just keep an eye on him for a couple of corners and see what his exits are like.
Right, here we go then, back on board with Riley. We'll do a lap when he across the start-finish line. 31 or 47, so tyres will start to feel a little bit worn out there right now. Okay, so not flirting with the curves as he goes through the final chicane, taking no risks whatsoever. He doesn't need to as well. 15 seconds ahead. Spots his braking spot on the right. Uses all the curb on the left. Stays a little bit clear of it on the right, but stays nice and close to the curb. Gets a good exit. No wheel spin that I could hear at all there. Spots his braking point. Right, and then the left. Gets a little bit close to the wall. Heard a little bit of contact, but I'm pretty sure that's Phantom again. And this is tricky braking. Again, it's very easy to lock up into there as well. Using all the trap on the right going into there, and then exit it out quite nicely as well. Onto the power again, no real wheel spin, no issues. What's his braking point? You have to brake a little bit earlier than you do in this car. Uses the curb on the right and on the left, no issues whatsoever. Their car looks very, very nice, I have to say. And then, yeah, braking hard down into the hairpin. I think he only went down into second gear there. It didn't sound like first, so he's not risking it to first. Certainly first on the hot laps, or he's just very, very patient on the gas. But yeah, no wheel spin coming out of that. Using his ERS down there again, just uses a tiny little bit of the curb this time. Always the wall of champions, and yeah, he looks in cruise control, mate.
Yeah, it looks like he's not taking any chances. He's leaving enough space between the car and the walls for it not to be a risk. Although I'm not entirely sure about those red chrome rims.
Everyone to their own. So just checking back in with this battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th. Nothing really changing there, I have to say. Still very, very close between them. I think everyone in that little group is waiting for them to make a little mistake. Matt Farrow got back towards the front of that, and after his spin, he's just lacked a bit of pace. I mean, into the 17s now, so yeah, really struggling. But yeah, just doing what he's doing out there right now, just soaking up the pressure. That's all he can do.
Yeah, how do you go about from what you've driven in the car by managing your battery power going through a race and deciding how much you want to use where, or do you just call it, on what's happening during the race?
Well, I have to say, the 2 races I've been in, I've not been in a position where I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to pump it up a little bit or whatnot. So, that I think is going to be different. I mean, from my perspective, I knew what I could set the car on to manage the engine, the power for the whole race, and that it would get very low by the end of the race. So, and I just sort of stuck with that. But I guess when you're in the mix-hour battle, that's when it becomes very, very different, because you of course want to attack, and but also if you're like Fakara for the moment as well, you need to obviously defend as well. So he needs to have power available to him all the time. The last thing he needs to be doing is sort of sitting there regenerating power when he's got somebody trying to put a move on him. So I imagine that's probably the hardest part of managing the energy at the moment is. You can go guns blazing and try and get a move done, but you're going to get overtaken the next lap because you've got no juice left.
Okay, while we were talking at the start of this lap, Bartelat has just made up a place. He's up to 10th with Ada Spinets and Eunice again.
Yeah, Eunice, and also Sebastian Dunkel and Joni Takkanen all into the pits. So that spin, I think, has took them all effectively out of the race. So let's take a quick look back, see what happened, or maybe that was separate. Was someone in the wall there? I think that was Yoni, so that's going to be a separate incident for Eunice. Yeah, Eunice, same place as Matt Farrow, really, just loses it going through the left-right section there, and yeah, he's just having to be very patient, waiting for the drivers to come through. And let's take a quick look further back and see what happened to Sebastian and Yoni.
Yeah, Dunkel
too late.
Came out of...
Oh wow, yeah, I'm just seeing the absolute aftermath of it now. Let's go back a little bit further and we can catch it all.
Yeah, Dunkel came out of he lost it midway through the first chicane, and Joni Takkanen just had absolutely nowhere to go apart from into the side of Dunkel. Dunkel left the track at that point and reset back to the pits. Eunice made it through fine and then lost it in the next chicane.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do, is there? I mean, that's just the natural line, isn't it? You track out there, you can't all of a sudden deviate and go there. So if a car just spins back onto the race line there, you're kind of done for. So yeah, poor Yoni there as well. Gained a few places, and just goes to show this track will bite you. I mean, how many retirees now have we had? It looks like we've had so Dunkel, Takkanen, Dinkel. Obviously that was disconnection.
I think you and Olampi is still running.
Yep, still 2 laps down as well. Daniels, obviously Holzman was disconnected as well. Yes, we've lost quite a few people.
Oh, the big beneficiary from everything that has happened up until this point is Bartelat. I mean, remember he had his issues on, was it lap 1 or 2, and he was right down. I think it was 20th or 20th or 21st, and he's made his way all the way back up to 7th.
Yeah, impressive. Yeah, lapping really relatively well as well. 16.8 last lap as well. This change going to happen just ahead, so we'll just quickly bring him up. He hasn't had too much airtime at all. But yeah, so 7th place at the moment, lapping half a second quicker than the cars in front of him, and about 0.3 of a second quicker than the sort of the battle for sort of 4th as well. So what's he got left? 11 laps? Too far back. He's not going to make up that. He's 15 seconds back.
I'll say I think you've jinxed it now. seeing how little or how hard people has been fighting not to get into the top 10 today, he might just have a chance of a podium spot.
Yeah, well, let's just say if Matt makes the same sort of mistake as what Dunkel did a few laps back, then it could be the same situation. These 3 cars here on screen right now could just all go by really quickly.
Yeah, but they're all running in very close proximity to each other as well. So if the one in front makes a mistake, then the other 2 behind is going to have to do a very good job at avoiding it. You know, I kind of want Ricardo just to be sat there for the whole race. Saving a bit of battery power, and then coming in his last couple of laps, just nail it.
Looking at the speeds, I mean he is a little bit quicker, but it's only about 5 kilometers an hour. It's nothing, you know. It's no more than you would expect from the draft, really. So, yeah, really, he must have an awful lot of downforce on that car.
To be honest, that's probably the kind of thing that I would do, is go for the safer option and get in there with a little bit more downforce and make sure as we say that. Sorry, I jinxed them.
We did jinx him. That was like a proper Murray Walker moment right there.
Talk about playing it safe, running a bit more downforce, and then he donates some paint to the wall.
Brings it back to the pits as well. So. But the lap now up to 6th place. That podium might be back on.
Only a couple of places off the podium spot.
People are going to hate us before long. Like, why the heck are you broadcasting these races?
Well, is it possible for me to prevent people from sending me PMs on iRacing? Might have to look into that. Really, Barthelard is he's not on pace alone, he's not going to be catching any of the guys in front of him. He's going to have to rely on people making mistakes in order to gain more places.
Barra a little bit quicker that lap as well, so back into sort of the mid-16s, so 16.656 there. So definitely picking the pace up now, he's not under so much pressure.
Sorry Alex, I've got Joel Guiz is just coming into the pits as well.
Well, let's see what that was. Mistake, or as he just drove into the pits?
Okay, so he got a on that car.
Okay, yeah, so I'm seeing an aftermath of it there. He's got some serious crabbing going on. I think that's Ian Ford ahead of him as well, just recovering too.
Yeah, he spun it at the same in the second chicane, same place where Eunice did, and bad thing for him, he actually stuck it into the wall.
Right, let's see. Here we go again.
If you roll it on a little bit further, as he's grabbing along, you've got Ian Ford facing the wrong way as well. Yeah,
he lost it coming out of the same corner, didn't he? Just on the gas a little bit too much. But yeah, so Joel's race is done and dusted. Ford's actually sort of 2 laps down at the moment, but still in 12th place, so he's going to pick up actually. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't sort of maintain his I rating at this point, so he'll be thinking he's at a disaster, but somehow he's going to come away with without a loss there.
I think he had some early race troubles as well, so for him to be where he is at the moment is a pretty good job as well. Well, he's been into the pits. Yeah, I was going to say because he had front wing damage earlier, and he's been in the pits for a pit stop, and yeah, that front wing is repaired. So that spin of his shouldn't have done too much damage.
Right, Timo just not able to close back in on Matt. Looks like now that the DRS sort of has disappeared between them, he's just slowly losing ground, and actually both drivers picking up a bit of speed as well. 16.5 for Matt made him fastest driver on the track last lap. No, I lie. It's actually Bart Delat, 16.506. So yeah, Riley definitely just in cruise mode. He's seen you know, people drop by the really quickly, and with 8 laps to go he doesn't want to do the same thing. Patrick as well, I think he's probably on the same, although Patrick stuck an absolute blistering lap in for himself, 16.0 last lap as well, so he's pushing hard out there right now.
Yeah, like we've seen, just as we think people are in control, and all they have to do is keep it on the track for a good result. Something seems to happen every time we mention it, and the wall comes into place. So as long as he keeps himself in touch, he's got every opportunity to benefit from a mistake. Should Preston make one.
Having a look at battle that's well, 10th and 11th place now. Eunice, obviously he's had his issues today, but he's got Jan closing in behind him as well. So yeah, top 10 would still be a relatively reasonable result, as Eunice goes way too deep. Somehow manages to get it stopped for turn 2.
Yeah, the only thing preventing him there from losing a place was the fact that I don't think Schwitter particularly wanted him to run into the back of him. This track is sort of a Marmite track. You either love it or you hate it, don't you?
Yeah, I don't think there's any. I don't think there's anybody who's like, all right. You know, it's definitely a hate for me. I personally, when I'm driving it, I'm the same as some of these other drivers out there. I'll whack on. Oh, looks like we've had another spinner.
Yuna's going deep.
But we'll stay with this, and then we will catch back up with, I think it's Timu's had a spin, so we'll see what's happened here, because I think Jan's going to get a run. He's got his DRS deployed. Seen him get alongside. I can't quite get it, so yeah, good straight line speed from Eunice. Right, let's switch over to Timu, see what happened. He's still going, he's in 5th place. But let's see what happened to him, because he was around for quite a while. So we just see he was tucked up behind Matt Farrow. He's been there for a while. Closed in on the previous lap before he made this mistake as well. So he just loses it coming out of the first chicane. Just on the power a little bit too aggressively. Car perhaps a little bit unsettled. Oh, Christian just about squeezes through as Timu's attempt to spin the car back around in the right direction failed, and he had to hit the brakes before he hit the wall. And Christian wide awake there and saw that coming and managed to get that car stopped. We almost had a repeat of the Dunkel and Tacken.
There's a lot of broken front wings on making the rounds around the track at the moment. Sebastian Dunkel is back out on the track to see if he can make up a couple of places before the end of the race with a semi-fixed car. But with Timu's troubles, Gates is right behind him. He's missed the lot. Who is going to be eyeing up 5th place without a shadow of a doubt.
I still think that podium's out of reach, but who knows?
Oh, I'm just going to say it now. If he manages to get a podium in this race, I'm giving myself the award for Call of the Year.
And he's got a little bit of pace on Timu, so let's see if he can close right up and maybe get a move done into turn 1. All about being brave, isn't it, on the brakes through the chicane when you've got a car ahead of you. Got a bit of damage on that front wing again. That might be Phantom, but yeah, not quite close enough. 0.3 of a second coming out of the final chicane there. So closes right in. Good exit, but too far back to make any move in first of the chicanes.
I suppose it's just all about how close you can keep to the car in front up until the hairpin, and then setting yourself up to go for the overtake on either the last straight or the start-finish straight.
Little recap of the order then. So Riley Preston leads 15 seconds ahead of Patrick Baldwin. Those guys lapping very similar lap times at the moment. I'm pretty sure both of them are just cruising. Farrell back up to third place, followed by Christian Tanahato, then we've got Timu, then Bart Delat. Frederick, we haven't spoke about Frederick at all. In fact, you know what? Frederick's not had any airtime, so as soon as we see this straightaway section go, we'll switch the camera over just so he doesn't feel all left out.
It's Christmas. She's spread the love. Oh, Delat looking really good coming out of this last chicane. Is he going to have enough legs to get it there? It doesn't look like it.
No, he doesn't. That barely closes
Oh,
up.
as we say that, Timu runs deep and just gives the place away.
You're right, it is Christmas. Here you go, there's a little present. Wrapped up nicely. Cha-ching, thank you. Put that under the Christmas tree. Right, where are we? Frederick! Here we go, Frederick. Go for a lap on board as well. Come out of turn 1. Through the first chicane. Riley must have heard what I said about taking it easy. 15.3, fastest lap of the race, just slapped it in with 3 laps to go. So obviously put the wick up a little bit and give it a little bit. So Frederick racing for core. Quite sure which core that is. I'm not familiar with the logos. I'm pretty sure there's 2 core teams out there on iRacing at the moment. But yeah, 7th place, done a good job, pretty consistent. 17.1 last lap. Brakes heavy for hairpin, not flirting with the curb on the inside, which is best because it is a bit bumpy and unsettles the car. Steady coming out of the hairpin as well. Let's just see what his lap time is there. Sort of straight line speed got in this as well. So 3:15 before he starts to brake. Yeah, very conservative through the final chicane. He's not risking anything. 7th's a good place for him. Front driver, and 17.0, so slightly bit quicker this time than the last as well.
We've got Jerome Hart is just behind him, just caught him by 3/10 on that last lap, so we might see something happening there to do it towards the end of the race. But Rasmussen, he's sort of gone about his business very quietly this entire race. He started all the way back in 19th place, and has worked his way up to 7th.
Yeah, Jerome doesn't seem to be closing in quick enough, I think, to get any kind of move done. 1.7 seconds, he's going to need sort of 3/4 of a second this lap, and yeah, a bit more in the next. Nothing else really going on. This is the closest battle on the circuit. Call it a battle. It really is just a race. Although Bart Delat is closing in on Christian Tanahato as well. It was 1 second he closed in that last lap, and he's just put a 15.7 in, I say. So it really is pushing hard now. That's 1.2 seconds he's closed in on Christian. He's going to be in range, maybe for a dive in the final chicane if he can do that sort of improvement again. But I just think it's too much to ask for.
Yeah, that 15.7 is the 3rd fastest lap of the race out of anybody. So quite where he pulled that out of, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Riley just coming across to start his final lap. 1.5 laps for Bart Delat to get up to Christian. See if he can manage it. It's down to 1.5 seconds. I know Bart and Christian have raced each other a lot. We used to cover a few series when they raced each other in the Skip Barber a lot, of course. Bart is a pro driver. He just decided not to run the pro series. Yeah, I wonder if that's a decision he's regretting now as he's back in the new car. Looks like he's enjoying it. Certainly looks quick. Closed in 0.4 of a second that lap. Not enough, I don't think. He needed, like I say, he needed about 0.7. Gonna have to.
As they go through, sorry, Alex. As they go through the first chicane, he's just about 1.1 seconds behind.
Here comes Riley though to take the win. He'll be delighted with that. Never look back. Pole position. Led absolutely every single lap of the race. Finishes it up with a steady mid-16 for there. Yeah, great job from him. Patrick Baldwin. Great drive from Patrick actually as well. We've seen him there or thereabouts in the championship standings for the first couple of races. Very, very strong result. I have to say, Patrick must have got up particularly early to do this race, unless he's moved over to Europe as well. It's not a particularly favoured time slot for the Americans, but nonetheless, he's up and done a great job into second place. Matt Farrow coming across for third. He had these issues, but takes away a well-deserved podium. He'll be delighted with that. And here comes Christian in fourth place. He's got 0.7 of a second advantage over Bart, so Bart isn't going to get into fourth. Comes across in fifth. Timu is going to finish in sixth. And where is Frederick? There we go. Second bit of viewing for Frederick. He's got Haag right up behind him, but holds on, and he's delighted with that as well. Has a little weave across the line. Eighth place for Haag. Mika going to round out your last of the cars on the lead lap in ninth place there.
Absolutely, that was really entertaining. A couple of standout drivers there, Bart Delart and Frederick Rasmussen. Really, Rasmussen worked his way up all the way from 19th place at the start of the race, and Delart just drove a brilliant recovery race.
Well, it looks to me as if the car definitely more forgiving here, but it can still have you off into the wall and spun and all sorts of things. So. Attrition definitely really played a big part of the role. When you look at the names that are down there as well, so you got Dunkel, Ficarra, Joel, Yoni, and then Michael as well. So a lot of drivers, and Patrick as well. But obviously we can forgive Michael and Patrick because they were just disconnections more than anything. But still, Circuit Jules Villeneuve not being particularly friendly to people out there today.
I think it was tricky conditions. I mean, with the cooler track and like I said in the start of the race as well. If you don't, if the car is not set up right, or if you've been practicing in different weather conditions the whole week, all of a sudden you get into a race where it's cooler conditions. It's just those little setup tweaks that might just put you off a little bit. And I mean, you can see the smallest mistakes around here will punish you a great deal.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Even I'm just getting ahead of myself there. Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in on both Twitch and on YouTube. We'll obviously be back next week for Watkins Glen. Should be a lot of fun. Expect that one to be an absolute massive split. Wouldn't be surprised if it's not 3-4 splits. Maybe even more as well. You know how popular Watkins is as well, and the car's a lot of fun around there. Congratulations to Riley and Evolution Racing Australia for taking the round 2 victory. Definitely puts him in a good spot. Of course, he had his issues in round 1 at Road America, but got 4 drop rounds. We're obviously racing the official series, so yeah, if you want to take part, then don't forget just to jump in on one of the races. Every week we're going to be doing these as well, so be live on iRacing Live and on Apex Racing TV's YouTube channel. But for myself and Conrad, it's going to be a farewell, and we'll see you for Watkins Glen.